Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, it's been what, over a month since I last uploaded a video. Okay, the thing is, I actually wanted to wait until after examinations, you know, because we have exams this month. I wanted to wait until after, you know, when we're done writing, then I'll, you know, get back into doing videos full time, like every week. But this particular one has been a burden for me, so I just thought I'd just come out here and do it before I leave the house. Okay, don't complain. It's part of the process. That sounds really, really harsh, but I mean that in the most loving way possible and the most encouraging way possible. This is a stage where I just recently, you know, left. Things were not just going as planned. Things were not just going as I wanted them to be. You know, I had a lot of challenges, you know, in every way I could think of. And I just thought to myself, and I was like, God, you are a God of miracles. Why don't you just snap your finger, just make something happen? You know, at some point I was so upset, I was so unhappy. It was bad, but I just grew not to complain that everything that's happening, it's for my good. It's going to get me to where He wants me to be, to that perfect stage that He wants me to be. Because each challenge you face, like whatever you learn from it will be really helpful in the future. It would make you the perfect human being that He has created you to be. That's in His sight, though. And you'll find that you learn a lot of things as well, you know, when you make a mistake or there's a challenge you face, you learn from it, and then you know how to grow yourself afterwards. So for me, I understood that at the beginning, but at some point, just right in between, I was like, I'm just tired of the whole everything. Why should this be happening, you know? But I've just learned to know that it's for my good. Everything that's happened, every single thing that's happened were necessary. Like when I lost my job sometime last year, it was in September last year. Yes, September last year. And this job, I told my mom that I just got, and I was like, okay, Mom, I just got a job. They're paying well. She was like, okay, is it good enough? I said, yeah, it's good enough. I started the job in July, I think. Yeah, I started the job in July, and then I did some open day jobs and university jobs in between. So I got a lot of money that was going to carry me from, that's throughout last year. So I was like, I was content with it. I blessed God. I thanked God for the job and everything. But the job was 30 minutes away from where I live, and that was a bit of a struggle. But I was like, I can do it, and I did it. You know, by God's grace, I did. Got the job, was working fine, everything was going fine. My colleagues were all, you know, they were all, they said, you're doing well. They were all commending me and all that kind of stuff. Then September came, uni was about to start. Got my timetable. I was like, okay, these are the days I'm free. These are the days I can work. Calculated everything. Planned everything. Oh my God. Said, okay, if I do this hours, I'll get this amount. I'll be able to do this, and save for that. That was the plan. And immediately I just arranged a plan. Maybe I just did that. I lost the job. And I came back home, and I was crying. I was crying so much. I was like, but I just told my mom that I have a job, and I just lost it. Oh my God. What am I going to do? How am I going to survive now? You know? And thankfully I did some overtime shifts. I'm just checking if it's still recording. Thankfully I did some overtime shifts like in the summer, and the way it works is if you do overtime shifts in a particular month, they'll pay you a month after the month you did the overtime shifts, if that makes sense. So that was the plan. So I did overtime shifts in September, a lot of them, and they were going to pay me at the end of the October yeah, they pay at the end of October. They were going to pay me that at the end of October. You know, that was when they were supposed to pay me that. And then I had money that would be enough for November rent and bills and everything. So I had October, November sorted. This was in September. But December now, what am I going to do if I don't have a job? How am I going to, you know, cope with the rest of the month, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July? Because I'm going to stay here until June, actually not June, July, June. And I was like, oh God, what do I do? You know, I started applying for jobs again. Applying. I was really unhappy that I had to lose my job because, I mean, it was really, really tough for me. I would go to the library, apply for several jobs, this, that, because we have university job shop where students apply for jobs, and I applied, submitted my CV, updated it, did this, did that. October came and passed, I got nothing. November came, and I was like, December is fast approaching, and I don't have anything for my brain. Lord, what do I do? You know, kept on applying until the last week in November. I just went to the library one day to do some revision, and I checked my email, and I saw that this hotel that is just 5 minutes away from my house sent me an email and asked to come on Saturday for a training. And I was like, when did I apply for this job? Because I cannot remember. Till now, I cannot remember applying for that job, but I must have somehow, or it's God's miracle, I don't know. But I cannot remember applying for the job, and I just thanked God for it. And even throughout that process, I was thanking God, still applying, thanking God for a job, still applying, thanking God for a job. And I finally got one on Saturday and started working. You know, it was less pay than the first one I got, but I was grateful for it. And I was like, but God. And then I asked God that, okay, the first one I got was paying this amount. Now, and I planned on saving for this that I'm trusting you for. But now I'm unable to do that with this one I have. It's a good job, you know, it's just 5 minutes away from my house compared to the one I was 30 minutes away from my house. This one is just walk across the road and you're there. It's not so far. And now this is paying this amount then I would be unable to save up for this that I'm trusting you for. So what am I going to do now? He said, trust me. And I'm like, I trust you, but what can I do? I should be able to do something. He said, focus on your book. I'm like, I cannot just stay and not think about it. No, so it was a bit of challenge. It was a bit challenging for me, you know, to not think about, you know, the thing that I'm trusting him for, you know, just focus and just get going. But, I mean, throughout the course of the time, I've just, even after that incident, with the job and everything, I work, I'm not looking for another job. I just stopped looking for another job, to be honest, because the more I tried, the more I'm stressing myself and I'm not letting God do what he wants to do. So I was like, I just gave up. Not that I just gave up, but I just rested. I had this peace, because then I was like always looking for what to do, like looking at how to earn money. But now I'm just resting, you know, just letting him, you know, take control. And I found that at that time, all the complaints, if I had just rested then, if I had just calmed down and just let him, you know, take charge, things would have been really easy on me. I wouldn't have gotten sick the time I did. I would have just been really peaceful and wouldn't have stressed too much about things. But I complained a lot. I did. I was really tired at some point. I was like, God, this cannot be happening. You are God, like, can't you just snap your finger and everything is just falls into place, you know? But again, he told me that in order for you to get to where I want you to be, you have to be uncomfortable. You cannot just be... Abraham was uncomfortable. Moses was uncomfortable when he was told to go and speak to Pharaoh. It wasn't an easy, will I say, quest or an easy task for him to do, as he was not fluent with speech like he said. But he went ahead and told Pharaoh anyway, you know, because God wasn't in control. So I sort of learned from him, you know, and I was like, oh, okay, you know what? I will just relax. Just relax. Just relax. And throughout, I would say from 2015 that this started until now, I have much more self-control than I've ever had. Patience, it has increased as well, and my faith and trust in God has, you know, moved up a bit. It has grown, and that is what challenges do. Challenges teach you things. It sort of removes every, like, look, it removes every impurity that you don't need in that great, that height or that place that God is trying to take you. Just consider, look at it in the perspective of a gold miner. They mine a gold, or they mine gold, and in order for it to be that perfect gold, that priceless piece that people would want you, that people would strive for, it has to go through electrolysis to remove all the impurities that the gold doesn't need for it to become priceless. That's how challenges are for Christians. God just lets you go through them, you know, to teach you, to mold you, to shape in you, to be that perfect person that he wants you to do, especially if you're to accomplish a particular task. Who knows, God has helped you improve your patience or your self-control. You may not know how that would help in the future. For me, my self-control, that this Sunday that just passed, if it was me a couple of years ago, I wouldn't have had as much self-control to hold back and not react to the situation, because that's what my brothers used to do, and they know me for that, because they know that I cannot hold myself back. It's like a reflex. When that happens, I'm like, don't do that. I react to it. But this Sunday, I just looked at myself. I was really amazed at how calm I was about the whole situation. I was like, okay. So this, you know, just waiting on the Lord has sort of helped me to have that patience, that endurance to endure that situation and just let it go. And even forgiveness. I forgave instantly. If it was a couple of years ago, it would be so difficult for me to forgive this person for doing this. But I just thank God that, you know, all the things that has happened throughout the ending of 2016 till now has just made me who I am now. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I am at my best, but I am a work in progress, and there's somewhere he's taking me, and I envision it. I'm just walking along that line, and I know that all those skills that I'm gaining now would be helpful when I get to where he wants me to be. So don't complain, okay? It's just a word of encouragement. Just calm down, relax. Just relax. Just be faithful in wherever you've been placed, you know, what department you are, you know, I mean, there are challenges everywhere, different kinds, but just be faithful. Just don't forget whom has put you there. Just don't forget God is there as well, and just pray for help and guidance that he will help you overcome all these challenges. And then when you now get to a certain stage in life, you will look back and say, this is why. So everything that happens at a particular time is necessary, especially with God. You may not know it at that time, you may not know why it's happening, but it is necessary. So that's just all I wanted to say today. And pardon me if I'm looking up too much. I'm just checking if it's still recording. Sorry. So thank you for, you know, watching this video today. I'm really grateful that you took out your time to watch this video. So I'll just encourage us again with Philippians 4 verse 6. This is Paul speaking. He encourages us to not, he says in verse 6, don't worry about anything, instead pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all he has done. In verse 7, then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. This peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. So, instead of complaining, I think KJV or NIV says, be anxious for nothing. Instead of complaining about a particular challenge, just pray, go to God and pray about it and say, God, I'm finding it difficult to do this, and He will help you. He will help you. Verse 7 says, you will experience God's peace that exceeds all human understanding. Like, you will begin to ask yourself, is this me really calming down, you know? And God will just intervene. But again, challenges are there to grow us, you know, to grow us spiritually, to grow us mentally and emotionally, you know, even financially. Those who go through financial difficulties, they find out that they learn how to save, you know, they learn how to minimize costs so that when their blessings come, then they know how to not spend so much. So there are different challenges there are different lessons that come with each challenge. So it's just to relax and just sort of take whatever lesson that you can, because it would be helpful in the future. And yeah, and I pray that God would help us all, you know, overcome whatever challenge it is and help us pass each test and each stage. So I've just, you know, decided to just relax and do nothing and let God just take control, you know, let Him have His way and glorify Himself in the situation. So don't forget to subscribe again. No, this thumbs up. Why do I keep saying it? This is thumbs up still, please. Subscribe down below. Share again. Share with your friends and family. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye. God bless.